Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the Yankees looks like they're setting themselves up to have another very underwhelming road trip. Again, after splitting 2-2 against the Oakland A's, went over to face the Anaheim Angels, and you would figure, again, a situation similar to Oakland where the Yankees would have the clear advantage. I mean, both these teams pretty much bottom feeders, almost 25 games below 500. And with them really having nothing to play for other than just having the Yankees coming into town and maybe getting a few extra fans in the seats, really nothing to play for, and everything for the Yankees to be able to want to win these games, figure out, let's get back and let's get healthier now, let's start hitting the ball, let's get a little run here in September. No, unfortunately, it seems like the Yankees are still in their doldrums. And again, looks like this road trip is just going to be yet another disaster, dropping 2 out of 3 to the Anaheim Angels. Again, this is after splitting the series against Oakland. Now, again, I kind of was a little bit optimistic after the Oakland series. Like, yes, it's a bummer to lose the last 2 there, but, you saw some good things. They were in the midst at the time of a 5-game win streak. They were hitting a little bit better, pitching a little bit better. You figure, all right, maybe they could about to go on a little run here, but then they pretty much pulled the rug from on the Yankee fans with this 3-game series. Again, really had no business losing. They should have really won all 3 of these games. And, and I'm going to kind of get into what's the problems here. It's, again, kind of what's always been the problem, is the offense. I mean, there's little things we can nitpick with some pitching here and there. And of course, in the final game, some defensive miscues, which led to the downfall of Garrett Cole, serving with a 3-run home run to Ohtani. But really, it's just this offense pretty much giving really no breathing room to this pitching staff and really no breathing room to make errors. And I know they had the 13-run outburst to start off, in Oakland. And of course, they did win the second game, scoring 7 runs, but it's kind of like wowie. But those are kind of really mirages. It's just really overall, this team is not scoring runs. So we'll get into all that. So fresh off, split with Oakland. Now, in that final game, and again, I kind of mentioned it before, Frankie Montas, the former A's pitcher, it did line him up where he could have started that final game in Oakland. I think that would have made the more sense just because, look, he's from Oakland. He's pitched there a million times. You'd figure that's the mound he's comfortable with the most. And I figured the best use of him would be put him on that mound. But again, they kind of started Clark Schmidt that game and pushed Montas back to the first game against the Angels, which, again, I can understand that argument too. Again, as a visiting Oakland player, they're in that division. Okay, maybe he hasn't pitched on the Anaheim mound as much as Oakland mound, but he's pitched a lot on the Anaheim mound there and is kind of familiar with that team. So I could understand it from that viewpoint if that was what the argument was. But either way, didn't turn out good. Montas, again, wasn't able to back up the strong performance he had against the Mets. Again, he didn't get a win there, but at least had a decent start and only gave up 2 runs in the game. This one, Anaheim jumped at him right in the first inning there, in the bottom of the first. Third baseman Luis Renifo with a solo home run, put the Angels on the board 1-0. Now, the Yankees would tie the game in the third inning, thanks to LeMahieu with a little small ball, actually lays down a little bunt there with ICAF on third base, able to score and kind of, caught them by surprise a little bit. Again, you're not really expecting LeMahieu to do that in that spot. So, good heads-up baseball there, so I kind of like to see that. Tied the game at that point. 1-1, and then Anthony Rizzo with a big home run in the 4th inning put the Yankees up 2-1 there. But unfortunately, Montas wasn't able to, keep it there. Gives up a solo home run to former Yankee. Remember Mike Ford? Remember him a couple of seasons ago? He was part of the. Remember that? It was like Boone's first year where the Yankees has had a ton of injuries, and Ford was like one of those guys that kind of stepped up and carried the team a little bit. Then obviously fell out with the Yankees, found a home with the Angels, and hit a solo shot there to tie the game up 2-2. But really, the big dagger was in the 5th inning with Mike Trout on. Montas serving up his 3rd home run of the game, 2-run shot to Ohtani, making his presence known. Put the Angels up at that point 4-2. Now, Aaron Judge, native Californian, again, every time he goes there, there's always a big crowd of Yankee fans, but this is, of course, Judge himself from California. Give the fans a little delight there who came to see him. Hit a bomb of a home run in the 8th inning, pulled the Yankees within 4-3, but that was it with the Yankees. They would fall and drop the first game 4-3. So again, you can look at Montas not having a great start. Again, giving up 3 home runs, which isn't good there. But really, this Yankee team only scoring 3 runs, that's really the bigger dagger. And Montas outgunned by Jose Suarez. Again, he just gave up 3 hits against the Yankees. The only good news there, this game was the return of Clay Holmes. So again, he's been out for a while. Again, with the back spasms and obviously not playing well. I think, maybe back spasm thing might have been just to get him out, get him off the team for a couple of weeks, just to clear his head. Did come back and throw a clean inning. Actually got some ground balls, so that's like to see from Clay Holmes. So I guess that's the only positive takeaway from this game. So the Yankees dropping that first one 4-3. For the second game, I guess the Yankees' only bright spot in the visit to California, where finally the offense woke up a little bit, and it came with a scare. So Yankees got on the board in the first inning. Andrew Benintendi with a home run, his second one so far as a Bronx Bomber, put the Yankees up on the board early. And in the second inning, Anthony Rizzo on back-to-back nights. He also hit a solo shot, his 30th of the season, put the Yankees up 2-0. Now, Tyone wasn't in this game long. In the second inning, in the bottom of the second, after the Yankees went up 2-0, served up the 2-run home run to catcher Max Stassi, tied the game 2-2 there. And then the Yankees were able to go ahead with a couple of runners on a throwing error by Renifo. Yankees able to plate 2 across the board, put the Yankees up at that point 4-2. Now the scare came in the bottom of that inning in the third. Tyone pitching, took a line drive right off the forearm, had to leave the game, but luckily afterwards it looks like it's just a contusion there, so just nothing where it doesn't seem at this point where he's going to have to miss any sort of time or put on the IL there. But again, that could have been scary. And then the Yankees just tacked on from there. In the fourth inning, Aaron Judge hitting a home run the night before, same as Rizzo did. Well, he also hit another home run, but this time a 3-run shot. Put the Yankees up at that point 7-2. And this was a game for the bullpen. The bullpen kind of, once Tyone left after in the third inning there, took 6 relievers to go the rest of the way. And they pretty much held down the fort. Mike Ford again, the third guy mentioned here, hitting home runs on back-to-back nights. He added a solo shot in the fifth, and the Angels scratched another run across in the ninth there. But the Yankees were able to hold on for the 7-4, tie the series at 1 game apiece. And again, this good news afterwards is hearing that the Tyone thing wasn't anything serious because, again, the Yankees already down with Nestor Cortez with a groin injury. We're still waiting on Severino to come back. And, so obviously Yankees can't afford right now to have another starter down. And plus, Montos right now hasn't exactly been overwhelming or hasn't really given you any sort of, anything to feel really optimistic about so far. So bring us to the third game. And this one is probably, I think, pinnacle, which says everything about the way this Yankee team is right now. So before the game started, turns out Rizzo wasn't available for the game. Again, his back is balking him again. So even though he did hit home runs on consecutive nights in the first 2 games, we've been seeing this from Rizzo now the past couple of months. Needed a few games off in August, needed a few games off in July, and now needed a rest for this third game. And Boone kind of mentioned after the game he might need not be put on the IL, but he might need more rest. So you might see a situation now maybe he's not going to be available for the Tampa series coming up. Which would be unfortunate because the Yankees are going to need him because they're coming on strong. We'll get into the standings, but they're right on the Yankees' heels now, 6 games behind them in the AL East. But the game itself, it was Cole versus Patrick Sandoval. This game was pretty much a pitcher's duel into the 5th inning. The Yankees finally got on the board thanks to Gleyber Torres. RBI double, scored Donaldson. And then later Torres himself would score on a sacrifice fly by Aaron Hicks, making a rare appearance, put the Yankees up 2-0. But unfortunately, it all unraveled in the 6th inning for the Yankees. Now, before the inning start, a fan ran onto the field, so there was actually a 4-minute delay starting up the inning. Now, I'm not going to say this was an excuse, but it is there. But really, the Yankees everyone's going to look for Garrett Cole giving up the 3-run home run to Ohtani, but a lot of this wasn't his fault. First of all, there was a throwing error by Donaldson, as well as a booted ground ball by kind of Flefa, that play that should have been made. Put 2 runners on, and then, of course, Cole giving up a home run to Ohtani, 3-run home run with the 2 runners on, and Angels were able to take a 3-2 lead at that point. So again, yes, Cole gave up the home run, but the booted balls by Donaldson and IKF didn't exactly help there. And of course, the fan running on the field and kind of delaying Cole warming up a little bit. Again, like I said, it's an excuse, but you just take all those factors. The Yankees have faced Ohtani a few times, whether in California or visiting here at the stadium. This is really the game where Ohtani really hurt the Yankees. I mean, they've pretty much been able to handle it for the most part. But this was probably the first time he really took it to the Yankees again, hitting a big 2-run home run in the first game to really to take the lead in that game. And of course, now this home run, also a game-changing home run, took a 2-0 deficit to a 3-2 lead for the Angels. And for Ohtani, kind of a landmark, became the first player to get 10 wins in the season, as well as hit 30 home runs all in the same season. So kind of a record-breaking night for him. But for the Yankees would rather hit his 30 home run against someone else. But this game really came down in the 9th inning. And again, this says everything about this Yankee team right now. So with Jimmy Heggert on there to close it, kind of a bit of a sidewinder, kind of throws a lot of sidearm, a lot of breaking balls, a lot of sliders. Not overly hard, but again, he's someone who's trying to get you to chase. So in the ninth inning, Judge leads off down a run, so he's looking for base runners there, or, solo home run would have been nice, but at the very least, you want to get base runners. So Judge works a tough walk. After him, Giancarlo Stanton, who again hasn't really done much since returning to the team, also works a walk. And again, he laid off a tough 3-2 pitch there. I almost thought he was going to go for it, but luckily, good eye to play. So you have 2 runners on, nobody out. Now, normal situation, maybe you bunt runners over, maybe make some contact, you would do something. But unfortunately, 2 batters after that, Gleyber Torres, Josh Donaldson, both strike out, both swinging for stuff out of the dirt. And even Donaldson was lucky there because he did make contact with one of the pitches there. It was a bouncer to Renifo at third, and the ball just went foul by inches. Otherwise, it would have been a step on third, throw him to first, double play there. So Donaldson's lucky. Other than that, big strikeouts for Haggard to get Torres and Donaldson to strike out there without advancing the runners. And then with Trevino up, which I think you should let Trevino swing away. I mean, I know, righty on righty there, but Trevino's got a lot of big hits for the Yankees late in games there. So I actually would have stuck with him in that situation, but Boone decided to go with Oswaldo Cabrera. Since he's a switch hitter, lefty against the side throw and Haggard, and they kept Haggard in there in the game. And Oswaldo had one good swing. It was basically the first pitch he saw. It was kind of a 83-mile-per-hour slider there into the zone. He was able to foul it back. And then after that, shortly, Cabrera weakly grounds out to second base, and that puts the game away for the Yankees. And again, that ninth inning said everything you need to know about this Yankee team right now. It's just they got a couple of runners on, but no small ball, no moving the runners on, no nothing. 2 strikeouts by Gleyber Torres and Donaldson. And yes, overall you say Gleyber has had a good bounce-back season, but obviously he's still hitting the low 200s. Donaldson's a low 200 hitter. You're not getting contact there, and it's just the embodiment of what this Yankee team is right now. Again, they could pitch around Judge, they could pitch around Stanton because no one else is doing anything on this team right now, and that's the problem, really. And, of course, Rizzo not in there with the back issue. I'm not sure if that would have made a difference. Probably would have. But, again, that's just the way this Yankee team is right now. And it's just looking like, I know they say for Jet fans, the same old Jets like that. Well, it's looking like it's going to be the same old Yankees, even if they get into the playoffs, which it kind of seems they will most likely. But it's just going to be, Judge might hit a home run, and then no one else will do anything, and they'll lose the game 3-2, 4-2, kind of like games 1 and 2 of this Angels series. Because again, no one else on this team is doing any hitting or anything like that right now. So that's just really the state of this Yankee team right now. Again, the only bright spot of this 3-game series is that Holmes also made another appearance in this final game, and again had a clean inning there. So at least maybe see him working his way back a little bit. That's the only positive we take away from this. Other than that, very underwhelming. Again, they should not have split 2-2 in Oakland, and they should have not lost 2 out of 3 against the Angels. Again, these are both squads that are, again, double-digit games under 500. And I understand the Angels have been playing a little bit better lately. That they went into Toronto, swept the Blue Jays on the road, so it could be just catching them at a bad time a little bit, but still overall, no excuse. And again, the Yankee pitching really hasn't been the issue. I know Montas gave up some home runs there, but can you score more than 4 runs against, Jose Suarez? Can you score more than 2 runs against Patrick Sandoval? Again, he went 7 innings, just gave up 3 hits and just the 2 runs, which was Torres double and then Hicks sac fly. So, I mean, they're getting bested by these pitchers, Sandoval and Suarez. And there's not exactly household names yet that the Yankees can't score any offense against. And that's really the problem. And I don't know, now September, we're here in September, so maybe just good riddance to August. And this was actually the Yankees' worst August since 1991. Again, they went 9-19 this month, and so the lead in the AL East dropped down to 6 games to the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Yankees get a day off, and then have a 3-game set against those same Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa. And right now, again, we'll see, but you're in a situation where most likely you're not going to have Rizzo for maybe one or multiple of those games. And again, this is a blow for Yankees because it forces you obviously then to play DJ at first base, which then makes you play Donaldson at third. And again, overall he's been good defensively, but I think the Yankees are better when DJ's playing third and Rizzo's at first base. And again, you need good defense against Tampa because, they pitch and they play defense, and you got to outpitch them and you got to outdefend them. And it's right now the Yankees aren't in a good place right now. And again, if the Yankees drop 3 there, now you look at that lead now only 3 games, and you're really going to see the panic button go across. So the only, I think, bright spot for the Yankees is that both Toronto, which is 8 games back, and Tampa play each other 9 times in September. So perhaps they could beat each other up a little bit. Plus, Tampa has 4 games with Houston, again, because of some of the rescheduling from early this season, because the season got pushed back because of the lockout. So Tampa has 4 games against Houston. Now, we don't know where Houston's head's going to be at that point. Will they be going for the best record in the American League? Most likely. Will they need to? Because maybe they'll be so far ahead of the Yankees. Maybe they can rest some players. Will Verlander be around September? So we don't know really what the situation is going to be with those Houston and Tampa games. But, of course, it benefits the Yankees again. If Houston and Tampa kind of knock each other around a little bit. And, of course, if Toronto, more importantly, and Tampa can knock each other around a little bit in September. So the Yankees have to look forward to there. And if you might have saw, the Yankees made a couple of moves, kind of under-the-radar moves. One of them made sense was bringing back Chase and Shreve. Now, I remember he was with the Yankees for a couple of seasons ago, and then they traded him to St. Louis for Luke Voigt in that deal. And Shreve bounced around a little bit. Was with the Mets, then the Pirates. Was with the Mets again this season. Early July, I believe they designate him for assignment. Again, didn't do much for the Mets. Pitched to a 6.49 ERA in 25 games. But they're probably looking at his 2021 season, where in 57 games, he pitched to a 3.2 ERA. And you can look at this a few ways. They've been using Lucas Lucky a lot. So maybe they figured maybe he's going to burn out a little bit. Maybe they just want to get an extra arm in there. Maybe he's an insurance policy. They're not sure what was going on with this whole Chapman infection thing. Again, they placed him officially on the 15-day DL retroactive to when they first reported on August 24th. So I don't know, maybe they feel maybe he's not going to be back, or he's going to need a little bit more time. Or, again, maybe it's an insurance policy for Britain if his rehab doesn't work as they're planned. So it's not a terrible move, and he's 32 years old, so it's not like he's some old washed-up guy. I mean, wasn't good for the Mets this season, but, again, he's been here with the Yankees before. He's familiar with most of the guys, most of the team, and so maybe they figure, hey, look, maybe he'll kind of have a bounce back, sort of the way Matt Carpenter did when the Yankees brought Matt Carpenter in. So Shreve right now in the minors, may never even see him, who knows, but he's probably an insurance policy for Britain and or Chapman. And a couple other moves. Again, not really sure why. You had Chichi Gonzalez, a right-handed reliever who's bounced around a little bit, as well as Tyler Duffy, another righty who's been with Minnesota for the past 6-7 years. Always pitching to an ERA above 4, so nothing really special. I don't know why they want to bring this guy in, but it could be like a Clay Holmes situation where you look at the numbers, not great, but they say, hey, the person throws the type of breaking ball and stuff that we like, and if we could just get their head right a little bit, we could turn them into a Clay Holmes. So, I don't know, it might be one of those situations, but again, it might be a situation where they're in the minors and you'll probably never see them, hear from them. But again, it's just kind of interesting how the Yankees are stocking up arms a little bit. Maybe that's a reflection that's not having faith and not sure about Holmes coming back, and they're not sure about Chapman, not sure about Britton. You hold your breath with like the Lou Trevinos of the world. So Yankees on yet another miserable type road trip that's just looking miserable, and it's probably going to be even more miserable if they drop 2 out of 3 to Tampa and you get swept by Tampa, which always looks like a possibility. You just got to hope, some of these bats get going a little bit. If Stanton could get hot, obviously that lengthens the lineup a little bit. If Rizzo, he hit 2 home runs in Anaheim, so when he's in there, he's good. But again, this back issue just seems to be, he can't shake it. But you need him hitting, you need Stanton hitting, you need Judge hitting, and that kind of just goes up and down the lineup, and it kind of feeds itself, and everyone kind of feeds off each other. But right now, when you just have Judge hit home runs and that's it, there's really nothing to feed each other. And this lineup is very pitchable. Again, you could throw outside the zone to Donaldson. You could throw outside the zone to Gleyber Torres. They swing for it. LeMayo's good, but he's not really having a great season. He's having an okay season, but you were expecting a little bit more from LeMayo so far from the season right there. So, there's a lot of room for improvement. So hopefully August is behind it, and, now the Yankees can look forward to the games against Tampa. Maybe that'd be the point. Maybe they can finally snap out of this and turn the page. So, Section 420, Talkin Yankees. Hope you liked the episode. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you next time.